we all? Yes, it is another Edra Scrolls, Ramblings of a Storyteller on the Edra Tales Twitch channel. And I also put the highlights, basically the whole show, because the whole show's a highlight, up onto the Edra Tales YouTube channel as well. Thank you for joining me. My name is Ken Boyter, but you probably already know that if you've been watching the channel. If you don't, then you know it now because I've just told you. And this is Loquacious from the Bottled Imp. The Bottled Imp YouTube channel, which is a channel that I created with, what's his name? I've forgotten his name. No, I haven't. Julian. I was going to say we co-created the Bottled Imp channel. I didn't create it. That's why I paused. I was thinking, I didn't create it. We co-created it. Julian and myself. So go check out the Bottled Imp YouTube channel. We have over 450 episodes. And they are fantasy based. It's fantasy board game reviews, fantasy book reviews, and fantasy film reviews, and some other sort of shenanigans that we get up to as well. But all couched under the fantasy umbrella. Hopefully everybody's all right. It's a bit of an odd time. Yes, there it is. Jonathan's there. Afternoon. Yes, it's a bit of an odd time because I have been speaking with my son who lives in Australia. Talking of people who live on the other side of the world. Hello, Lirin. Good. 8 p.m. Oh, okay. So it's a suitable hour for you. Brilliant. Wow. Grockle Snooker's literally been hitting the ball hard. Is that me or him? Yes. He loves his grok. His grog, as the Australians would say. He loves his grog. Yeah. Who doesn't? Yay. Booze. So, yes. So the reason why I'm doing it at this time rather than the regular 10 a.m. slot is because my son lives in Australia, him and his wife, and so we wanted to do a catch-up video call. This seemed to be the best time to do it, so I was like, of course, you're my baby boy. He's 25. You're my baby boy. Of course I'm gonna reschedule stuff for you. So there we go. So the reason why I'm wearing the hat, you may wonder. Well, you probably won't if you watch the channel regularly, or you're part of the Edra Tales Facebook group. We do have a Facebook group, so check that out. And we also have a Facebook page. So if you prefer pages to groups, I'm not 100% sure what the difference is. Part of a page you can't post up on, but you can comment. Whereas in a group, I think, yeah, you can just post up as well. So there we go. So if you want to check out, if you've been watching the Edra Tales channel, or you're part of the Facebook group, then you probably already know that. Yes, the exciting news is that I have just had a game published, which is, I should say, co-created again. What is the matter with me? Co-created. Kedrick Winks was the lead designer on this, and I helped develop it. So the way we work it is we're developing a few games, and whoever comes up with like the initial concept is the lead designer, and the other one then helps develop it. And that's what we did with the Crooked Crown. And we just exposed it at the UK Game Expo. Is that what it means? Exposure? It doesn't. I'm a jester. Hello, Sally. Hello, how are you? Writing crime game books seems to have temporarily given you a Goodfellas accent. Oh, really? Me? All right then, mate. How's it going? No, that's not Goodfellas. Goodfellas is American. More like a Snatch, the film, not the slang that it means. You know, Guy Ritchie. All right, mate, how's it going? Ray Winston. Hey, you, leave us alone. He's my family. Do you mean that? Yes. Or maybe this is more my afternoon voice. Maybe I start more posh in the mornings, and then as the day gets on, I get a bit more cockney, a bit more Dick Van Dyke. So there we go, yeah. So we just had so much fun demoing it at the UK Games Expo. Jonathan was there as well with his books on his stall, and we've both been so busy that we haven't actually had a chance to catch up about how it all went. So Jonathan, how did the UK Games Expo go for you? I'm sure it was fantastic as always. Yeah, I managed to come and see Jonathan on his stand a couple of times, but obviously it was just busy. Jonathan very cleverly He's no fool. He has a stand next to Sir Ian, Sir Ian, Sir Ian. You shall not pass, Sir Ian, Sir Ian, Sir Ian. Livingston. He has a stand next to Sir Ian Livingston, so that's clever, because that draws the crowds, and then they go, oh, what's Jonathan up to? No, Jonathan's built up a fine fan base over the years of his Ace game books. Dick Van Dyke, by the way, became the oldest person to win an Emmy at 98, young today. Fantastic. Yeah, I think I heard about that. That's amazing. Well, he's a dancer as well, so he keeps himself supple. And when he was in the latest Mary Poppins, you know, the sequel to Mary Poppins, he was actually, they said, oh, well, we'll get a stunt double. You know, we'll get a double to do the dance, not stunt double, we'll get a dancer to come in and do the dance sequences. He said, what? What are you talking about? Look. Because that's how he dances. So, Jonathan says, good. He sold plenty of copies of You Are the Hero. Okay, so if you've not got that, You Are the Hero is a history of Fighting Fantasy game books. I think it's specific to Fighting Fantasy, but I think he might mention other game books in there as well. And I can never pronounce this, the Acronite books sold out. Wow. 40 copies of The Darkness Over Arkham that they brought with them. Foolish. They should have doubled that. You probably could have sold double that, but that's fantastic. Yeah, so Jonathan's just got a new game book out that's been commissioned. The Darkness Over Arkham, which is fantastic. Next year I want to plan in some time where I walk around the halls. Exactly. That's what I'm going to do as well, chatting to friends and seeing stuff. Yeah, I saw even less the previous year. It is, and I do. So yes, no, absolutely. Because, you know, Jonathan's pretty much on his own. I was demoing this. I was very excited. I mean, I wasn't, you know, I don't work for this company. You know, we sold them the game. But I wanted it to do well, so I never really left the stand. But next year, you know, we'll see what happens. Yeah, yes, it is, and I do. 40 years of Fighting Fantasy and references to oh yeah, Endless Quest. Those were the other ones I played. I didn't play Lone Wolf, Way of the Tiger and Nightmare. I didn't play any of those, but yeah, Endless Quest. I forgot about those. Right, we're going to have to get some Endless Quest going for the live stream. Yeah, 40 years of Fighting Fantasy and reference. Yeah, so if you're into Fighting Fantasy and you're probably of an age, you know, now that you're kind of taking interest of what happened behind the scenes, check out Jonathan's You Are the Hero. Are there any copies left? And where do they get them from, Jonathan? And also, yeah, put a link up to your Arkham Horror, The Darkness Over Arkham as well. Presumably that you buy that from Acolyte Books. Is that how you pronounce their name? Who knows? I certainly don't. So yeah, the reason why I'm wearing a jester is obviously there's a jester in there. So those of you that don't know, the Crooked Crown, it's fantastic. Look. This is a sealed copy. Woohoo! Oh. It's not actually gone on sale yet. It's published first of all. Oh my God, so those people got a pre-order. They basically got their grubby little mitts onto it before it goes on sale. So there you go. So it goes on sale. Presumably then it's going to be on Amazon and stuff like that. There it is. Yeah, if you want to get it from them, I guess you can put a pre-order or you can get it from Amazon. I'm not sure. But yeah, go to that website if you're interested in The Darkness Over Arkham. But yeah, it's really cool to see it cling filmed. And I don't often say that in a sentence. Let's keep it clean. Wizards, Warriors and You. Oh, okay. Were popular in our grade school library as it shared Lone Wolf's innovation of letting you pick your spells and skills. Fantastic. Yeah, that's it. There was lots of iterations of them. Brilliant. I've not heard of those ones. So yeah, part of the contract that the designers get is we both got, Kedrick and I both got 6 copies each. And the publisher bought 72 copies. We sold 60 of them, which is fantastic. And that meant there was exactly 12 each. Sorry, there was 12 left. So Kedrick and I just took 6 of ours that were owed. So it all worked out well. The other big news about the Crooked Crown, oh my giddy aunt. Jonathan informed me, and I was away from the stand when this happened, but Jonathan said, am I allowed to say this? Jonathan, let me know. You know what I'm going to say. Am I allowed to say this? That someone actually bought a copy. He'd be all right with that, wouldn't he? Let me know if you feel like I shouldn't say this. I don't see why not. Okay, cool. Thank you. Well, you know, it's kind of somebody's personal thing, but yeah, hey. Right, okay. I know, I'm just being oversensitive. So, yes, the big news then, take two. For me, personally... Oh, did I already say it publicly? Well, I obviously wasn't bothered then, but I'm bothered now, today. So I've already said it publicly, yes. Sir Ian Livingstone, Sir Ian, thou shalt not pass. Sir Ian Livingstone. He bought a copy of The Crooked Crown. Which just blows my mind, which was fantastic. The guy that co-created Fighting Fantasy, the guy that co-created Warhammer, or his company published it, I don't know how much they actually had a hand in it. I don't see why they didn't. Their company created Talisman, amongst other things, Blood Bowl. What other was the classic games? They created lots of different games. Warlock of Fire Top Mountain game. They then sold the company, and Ian set up another company called Eidos, I think that's how you pronounce it, that then launched Lara Croft. Oh my giddy aunt, the guy is a legend in the gaming world. So for him to come full circle, and him and Steve Jackson were mostly responsible why I got into reading as a kid, because I love the Fighting Fantasy books. It really helped me. That, to come full circle, for then Ian Livingstone to own a copy, hopefully he'll play it, he won't just put it on his shelf. Hopefully he'll play it and enjoy it. Hopefully. I mean, maybe he saw people demoing it. The thing about it is the people on the stand, on the Cheatwell stand, they don't know who he is. They're like, yeah, good for you, Ken. So I would have been the only one that would have gone, hey, Ian, yeah, come and have a demo. But hopefully he demoed it, I'm not sure. He also handed, I don't know how to pronounce that, Miyazaki Sensei the Game of the Year award for Eden Ring with Steve Jackson last year too. Oh, fantastic! Oh my God, if you had won that, if you were receiving an award, who would you want it to be from? Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone. Oh my God, and Jonathan, obviously. Jonathan. We're talking of awards actually. This was really nice. So Paul, who is like the commissioning editor, he commissioned The Crooked Crown of Cheatwell, and Dave, who owns Outset, so they're the two companies that are involved in this game. They had a selection of other games. So we've got Rainbow is another one, another cool little two-player game. This one is Cadaver, which is a game by Kedrick. This is where you raise corpses from the ground. Of course you do. Another one from Kedrick, Psychobabble. And then we got Zenzu, which is a cool little two-player game as well, sort of like chess meets drafts. They have another game out there. So they had about 6 or 7 games that we were demoing, or that I was just demoing the Cookie Crown, but they were demoing. They also, this one, Skullduggery, was fantastic. Outset and Cheatwell. This is a new game, and it won the best card game, but the People's Choice Award. So the people voted for this. Luckily we hadn't entered the Crooked Crown. That's my excuse. But before you go, it beat the Crooked Crown. We hadn't entered the Crooked Crown. So that's fantastic. The designer is, what's her name? I do know her as well. She needs to get her name on the cover. No, you need to get your name on the cover. Okay, a game by Ellie Dix. So Ellie Dix, and I do know her. She was at the UK Games, but not for long. So we're demoing this. So well done, Ellie. That's brilliant. Skullduggery, and well done, Dave and Paul and everyone that worked on the game, because it's it can be a lot of time developing these games. So for them to win their first award at the UK Games Expo was fantastic. So that's what they're hoping to do. They're hoping to make quality games that are more of the hobby market rather than more mainstream games. So they're getting into this market. And so they really are looking for games that will that will win them awards. Obviously, well, all publishers are, aren't they? So hopefully they'll enter this game into the running next year, and who knows? Hopefully we could win a prize, win an award. Jonathan has put here, so Ian gave out the awards to... Oh, at my son's prize day. Oh, my God. When he left his prep school, Jake won various prizes, and every time Sir Ian handed it over to him, he caught my eye in the audience. Oh, what a legend. He really is a legend, isn't he? Oh, that's... So did you pull strings? Did you... Can you come and... Or was that just coincidence? Because that sounds fantastic. So there we go. So I've had a lot of fun demoing. I mean, it was tiring. I basically didn't stop. What was lovely... I'll tell you what, though. What was really lovely was just seeing... I don't believe in coincidences. I see. Well, Jonathan, maybe we could get you to do an award or something. Get you to present an award. I don't know what for. Just for turning up. Yay, thanks. What was I going to say? I've forgotten. Oh yeah, what was really lovely out of all of the thing, apart from meeting Jonathan again, we didn't get a chance to catch up though, you know, apart from the team. Big shout out to Sarah, who, Facebook friends, you know who we are. Sarah, who demoed the game. She was a volunteer, demoed all of the games. Fantastic. She worked relentlessly. Also Derek, who works for Outset Media. He flew over for Canada from Canada with Dave. He's a sales guy, but he loves gaming. He used to work for Asmodee. He loved the game. He loved most of the games. I didn't speak to him about all, so I can't really tell. Anyway, he demoed all the games. Really enthusiastic, so that's good. And also Paul was there. Kedrick was there. Kedrick's got a new game out called Shadow Ninjas. So if you like catch and you like ninjas, you'll love Cat Ninjas. And basically the game is a hidden mechanism, hidden movement game where you are trying to get your cats to the other end of the board without your guard dogs seeing you. There's another player takes on the guard dogs. And again, that's a lot of fun. It can be played 2-player. Equally, it can play up to 6, I think. Yeah. So you'd take a cat each and try and get them to the koi fish. You're trying to eat fish at the other end of the table. I presented an award, says Jonathan, at the French Games. Oh, hello, la-di-da. That's French for la-di-da. Nice one. Oh, that's cool. Well, you are, you're a semi-legend. A semi-legend. Oh, look, peeking behind the scenes there. Let me just sort that out. You're a semi-legend. Or as I like to call it, a semi. Jonathan's a semi. Can't do that. No, in all seriousness, that's really cool. Because the French Games Expo must be pretty big as well. Très bien, monsieur. Comment allez-vous? Une bière, s'il vous plaît. And there my French ends. Yeah, so well done. No, brilliant. Well, why not? You're a legend. You've written, what, over 40 or something ridiculous books? Over 60 books? Somebody posted a Facebook last week that I was a living legend, achievement unlocked. Hate to say it, Jonathan, that was a fake account. That. Of course you're a living legend. Look, over 80 books published, so therefore definitely achievement unlocked. Living legend. Of course you are. Of course you are. Not quite Sir Ian's level yet, but, we'll get you there. Maybe I need to nominate you for a knighthood. Maybe that's what I need to do. In recognition of service to literature. Maybe that's... I'm just flattering you because I really want you to write a foreword to my game book. We can talk about that. So anyway, yeah, Crooked Crown. It was fantastic. Hoping to hit 100 books in 5... Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Well, I'm a little slight... No, you're older than me, aren't you? Time's running out for me, so I'm trying to do as much creative projects as possible, get them out there, get them just seen, get them done. Crooked Crown is the first major achievement for me, and so a massive thanks for Kedrick, obviously, and a massive thanks to Cheatwell and Outset. It's just been amazing. And hopefully, fingers crossed, there's more to come. So, talking of more to come, and talking of game books, nice segue. Jonathan has agreed to write a foreword for me. I haven't had a board game published, though. Oh, that's true. Well, maybe we can work on something. Maybe we can work on that. You've got RPGs though. You've done RPGs, so that's like a tabletop game. So you're getting there. You know, you're getting there. No. Hey, let's not boast who's done what. You know, who's more handsome than the other. Let's not. How can I be handsome with a bloody jester's hat? Right. Anyway, look at that. You've never seen my hair like this, have you? When I was a kid, I used to have it like this. I used to have a parting down here. Should we do that? I used to have a parting here. And I used to have it like that. Hello. Hello. I'm here to sell you insurance. There we go. Right. Anyway, let's do that. Do need the haircut. I'm going to be cutting the hair today. There we go. Devilish Dilemmas. Yeah, an Edra Tales game book. That is, weirdly enough, I thought, right, after UK Games Expo, I've got a bit of a breather, because the next plan is to kickstart the game book Devilish Dilemmas, with forward written by Jonathan Green. If I say it enough time, it will become true. Hey now, the Jester Hat was the most handsome character in King Lear. Yeah. Never count out the clown. That's true. That's true. That is true. Never underestimate the clown. Ooh, maybe that's actually not a bad idea for a game, but you play a court jester. I don't think anyone's ever done that before. That's my idea, even though Lee Rin kind of just sort of gave me the idea, influenced me. But yes. Yes, the game book I'm hoping to kickstart. Well, I will be kickstarting in October. Whether or not we raise enough funds, I don't know, because I've never raised money doing a Kickstarter in terms of a game book. Hopefully I will be able to do it. The problem is I'm going to have to create an Edra Tales account and then start from scratch again in terms of building up a fan base. However, yeah, I mean, I know you guys, so I've got a bit of a mailing list as well. Obviously, I'm going to be spamming the internet universe constantly, just like Jonathan does. And I guess it's more of a niche market, so there's more, you can target people directly. Because you go, do you like game books? And you go, no. Okay, it's not for you. Do you like game books? Yes. Oh, you might be interested in this. Or, do you like reading? Do you like games? Yes, yes. Well, you might want to try a game book. You know, so there is that a little bit going on as well. So this is going to be kickstarted in October. I have done a sample. This is a sample. I have noticed, actually, when we... Oh, yeah, and we play tested it. What am I talking about? You guys know all about it. You helped me play test it the other day. I think there was one or two things I wanted to tweak. There's a few typos in there as well, so I do need to sort them out. But what I will do is I will eventually get on to putting it up on Edra Tales, so you can download this sample if you just kind of wanted to look at the rules in further detail, or go over it again, you know, maybe play, because obviously like a game book, you can play it multiple times. The Jester was the wisest of the cast, and the distinct privilege of being able to, satirise laws without being punished, on the chopping block. Yeah, you can say more truths through a joke, can't you? Always found the curious, considering that autocracy that medieval societies were. Yeah, absolutely, they could get away with a lot, and you can with jokes, but that's the whole point, you know. And also, it's a good way to bring these pompous sort of dictators down as well, or anybody down, by through a joke. You can deflate big egos like that. So yeah, I quite like that idea, actually. I don't think there's a game book where you play a court jester. That would be amazing. Right, that might have to be the next game book. Anyway, we're still back on here. So I will be putting that up eventually, and then I will be... That's one of my main goals now, this is kind of the main book that I'm working on, the main project that I'm now working on. However, I never make it easy for myself because I'm still working on other stuff. We have the game book interaction stage show, Devilish Dilemmas, the same name, that I'm working on with my actor friend Dave, that we have play tested it quite a few times now in front of a live audience. We're going to be doing a few more play testing, and then we'll pretty much have it, and then we'll be putting it out hopefully to gaming festivals and do live performances wherever we can. That's the next stage, but I do need advice on that. Do you like liver? Do you like bacon? You'll love liver and bacon. What the hell is that? Is that how I say, yeah, because I said, do you like that? Do you? Is that Fast Show? Is it the Fast Show? Because there was one that went, do you like cheese? Do you like peas? Then you'll love new cheesy peas. Is that what it is? Yeah. Brilliant. Fast Show is excellent. I need to re-watch those because I watched a lot of them when I was a kid. That was a must. Well, teenager. That was like a must-watch series for me, you know, that you would go, right, oh, it's 9 o'clock Tuesday, BBC, I'm going to be in. Yeah, there you go. Easy squeezy cheesy peas. Fantastic. Charlie Higson, which Jonathan knows now. Do you still keep in touch with Charlie? Charlie. So, there we go. Favourite historical jester, Burn. Do you have sympathy for the cardinal? Oh no, do have sympathy for the cardinal. He swallows so much sins that only the finest wines can wash them down. Hey, ooh. And that's why he drinks. Yeah, that's why it's a luxury lifestyle. I like it. Oh, he retweeted my Shakespeare vs. Cthulhu Kickstarter. Oh my God, Jonathan, there we go. They're living the dream. Again, it's weird, isn't it? Meeting people that we kind of knew as famous back then. I mean, he's still pretty famous, isn't he? He's got a long legacy of books now, hasn't he? To kind of then interact with them, it's kind of weird. Or it's not, depending on who you are. So yeah, so I'm going to be working on that. That's the next main project. However, like I say, I've got my game book interactive stage show that we're developing. That's very close to being finished. We do need to iron out a few more things. We need to play test it maybe twice more with a live audience, you know, free just to put on a show. And then we will start trying to get it into festivals, trying to get it into UK games, you know, expos, that kind of thing, gaming expos, because there's a lot of demand now, or they seem to be putting on live shows that are geek based, for want of a better way of putting it. Plus, Dave thinks there's a good corporate element to it as well, where corporate companies, you know, they do that with murder mysteries. Dave works for another murder mystery company where it's corporate mainly. They don't really put on a lot of public events, but it's just or you know, Dorothy's 60th birthday. The only reservation I have about that is a murder mystery's got more mainstream appeal, whereas a fantasy interactive game book kind of doesn't. So I'm a little bit okay, maybe that might work. I might be completely wrong, but my instinct is the main audiences are going to be at expos, you know, gaming expos, and also at festivals like the Edinburgh Fringe Festival or Brighton Fringe Festival. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We need to market all. We need to nail the show down first, and then once that's all sorted, then put it about. I've got some friends in the theatre who are directors and producers and stuff like that, so I can kind of get their advice on the next stage of it. Anywho, so that's that. Then what we've got going on is my other biggest thing that I've been working on is my murder mystery game, which this is the prototype. Glamorous. I do need to get a proper box of this. Anyway. Oh, where's the board? Yeah, I'll show you the board. I don't know if I've shown you the board. I managed to get... So I went on holiday last weekend. So that week where I did no live streaming, I just thought, no, I'm down in Devon. I'm having a holiday, which was very pleasant. Sally and I and Sally's extended family was very lovely. It's about 20 of us. So it's really cool. Yeah, it's really nice, relaxing time. There was a swimming pool there as well, so we could use that at certain times of the day. That was just us in there, so that was really cool. You know, it's like it was on a farm, but they'd converted lots of cottages into guest houses basically, and then had a communal swimming pool, and then each cottage got a certain time of the day that they could use it, and that was really cool. And they had a pool table as well. So Sally, her brother Pete, and his wife Charlotte very kindly, oh, and Philippa, their sister, very kindly play tested it. Philip only did one session, which is fair enough. So ultimately it was a 3-player game. This plays up to 6-player. Now I've done the board. Look at this. This is the size of Talisman board, the 4th edition. So this is the board, which I think looks really cool. I'll show you two in more detail. There we go. So you can see what we've got going on. Oh, what's Lever input here? Very surprised at how light an actual 1:1 scale metal Terran handler, non-sharp of course, in the post crash courses bonus lesson at Hemmer class saber session today. Is that the one that I saw you with a massive curved sword? I've seen a Facebook post on that. Is that what that one was? You're like posing with it, looking very hard and very ninja-like. Is that... Although a ninja probably wouldn't have a massive sword because they're stealth. I don't know. I don't know me swords and me ninjas. Was that the one? That sounds cool. So basically, the board... So what my thinking was, it's the base game box, which is will be the most costly thing out of the whole game. So you buy the base game, you get a board that's not tailored to any specific case, okay? This is just the basics of how you play the game. Then you have cases that are packs of cards. And then each case is just cards. So once you play the case, obviously you've solved it. You're not going to play that case again. So the base game, I was thinking you could have 3 different cases. They took about 2.5 hours, 3 hours to crack the safe. Not the safe, to solve the mystery. Is that a clue? Is that a red herring? To solve the mystery. That's a McCarbre saber. Oh, okay. Fighting in the 1845 British Anglo style. Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. So they'd be on horseback, and that's why they were curved, I think. Is that right? Because it was easier, and they need to be lighter and more mobile. I think. I'm just having a guess. So yeah, so you would buy the board, the base game that would have this board. So this would be a proper board, a fold-out board, you know, that folds up like Fighting Fantasy. You'd then also have each pack separately with different cards. And then, once you've solved the case, you put those cards away and you can crack open the next case, and then you just lay the cards out like you did previously. And Ninja did not historically fight with curved sabers yet until... Oh, they did. 1868, when Japan started its westernization movement. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So what you do is you get X amount of witness cards. So these are the witness spaces. Yeah. So you put those on the witnesses. Then the main part of the board in the middle are where the rooms go. These are the locations. So for example, the first case all takes place in a hotel. And what you do, I've numbered these, and so you just match the number of cards, but face down. So you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there's 15 rooms in this hotel that you can explore. And then what you do is there'll be a card that sets the scene of why you're there, because each player plays their own specific sleuth that has its own unique ability or innate deduction power. And so basically, you then read out what the setting is. So it'd be, this is the Emerald Royal Hotel and blah, 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 and you're here for there. And along, playing in the casino room are, it's Lord Alistair's, 60th birthday, blah, 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 blah. So you get the setting. Then it says turn over card 1. So you turn it over, and that's card 1 is always going to be where the murder takes place. So instantly you've got a body, and then you have to work out who, why, and how. And what you do is on your turn you can do 2, or well, it'd be 3 actions of 5. Okay, and so what you can do is you can look for clues, you can test for forensics, you can move, and you can question witnesses. And you've got 3 things, so everybody gets 2 that they can choose from. And then on your card will tell you, on your player card, your sleuth card, what your innate ability is. So mine might be you can move twice per turn, as in the regular go and your go, or you can move one extra time. So if I'm that character, I might say, right, I'm in the casino, I want to question a witness and I want to look at clue 1. Okay, and so you take those, you read those cards out, and then I would keep those cards. Now that would be my 2 goes out of the 5 actions. However, because I've got an innate power and everybody's got a unique one, my one is do an extra move. So then I would sort of go, right, I'm now going to move into room 2, and you'd trigger that. Now I couldn't do anything else in that, but you would know what was in there. And it then means that someone else can come into that room and then they can start investigating it. So there's that. The whole murder takes place over 24 hours. Okay, so you've got a little time track down the bottom. And as it progresses down, every 4 hours, you can, if you want, everybody has to agree with this, forgo your turn. Everybody says, right, nobody's having a turn this hour. However, you can get a hint card. You get a hint card that is fact. So whatever the hint says, you know is fact. Whereas when you question the witnesses, they might be lying. They might be making it up. The clues might be red herrings. The forensics might be red herrings. There'll be actual stuff in there as well, but obviously you've got to sift through what is real and what isn't. Not unlike Cluedo, a top 10 boyhood favourite. Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm kind of pitching it as Cluedo on steroids, because you're actually investigating it as opposed to just ticking off a list and eliminating. There are going to be clues and forensics and witness statements. So you have to work out, are they telling the truth, or is that contradicting another witness? So the hint cards are actually proper facts, if you like. And there's 6 of those throughout the game, and they get progressively more and more better, if that's a better way of doing it. They reveal more and more and more. Plus, everybody gets so it's a cooperative game, but you also get a personal objective card. And what you do is you get 3 to begin with. You choose which one you want to keep. So, because I thought some people, like Dead of Winter, some people want to be the outright winner. So on this game, it would be, you've won if the murder's been solved correctly, plus you were the one that moved into new rooms, the most new rooms. Yeah, so you'd go, yeah, I moved into 5. So if that's your personal objective, you might just want to go, right, I'm moving into 1, then I'm moving into 2, and you're not looking at any clues initially. Then once you've got about 6 done, you might go, right, no one else is going to move into more rooms. Right, that's my personal objective. So that, to me, adds a little bit of spice. If you wanted to be the outright winner, or even if everyone achieves their personal goal, you get extra rewards. So what you also do is you can then level up. So remember how I said there was 3 base games? 3 cases in the base game. Once you crack the first case, you will have a score at the end of that, and you can level up, and you'll get better rewards for if you've achieved your personal objective. Also on the cards, every now and again on witness cards and sometimes on clue cards, it will say, do you want to spend a hunch token to find out more, because you suspect that the kernel isn't telling you everything. So you can spend a hunch token, and then you read that, and they might say, oh, I'm glad I caught you on your own, because actually I didn't want to say this in front of the doctor. However, this. Yeah, so they might tell you a little bit more. And again, you keep the cards and you can refer to them at any point. Base game, so there will be expansions like Hero Quest and Space Cruiser. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so I wanted base game because I wanted it to be replayable, but of course, once you solve a murder mystery, you can't replay it. Well, you can, but you'll know the answer, so it's pointless. So with this, the base game, you get the board, which is not tied to any location or any murder. They all come in the cards. So you'll be laying the cards out for each case. So once you solve a case, you collect up all the cards, put them to one side, and then if you wanted to, but it's about a 3-hour game, you would crack open the next case, and it might be in a completely location, a different location. It might be in a theatre. So location 1 will be different. All the locations in the base game, all the locations from case to case will differ. So in the hotel, you've got the casino, you've got the lounge and bar, you've got the front garden, the back garden. Then if it's set in a theatre, for example, you'd have the stage, you'd have the dressing rooms, you'd have the bar area, you'd also have the cloakroom, maybe, where people hand over their cloaks, their coats. So you'd have various different rooms. So the board is just a generic board, so I can lay the cards over for each different case. So there's so much replayability, because not only, so you get 3 cases in the base game, which potentially is 9 hours worth of play. Plus, you just release little boxes like this, like Talisman, basically going, here are extra cards. Here's a new case. And it's set, in a leisure centre, or it's set. You could even do it. So at the moment, I've set them all in 1920s, but I could do a sci-fi one. This case, is set on a spaceship, and it's, that you have to find out who killed the captain or whatever. The pilot, or you have to find out who killed the engineer or whatever. But it's, and so it's sci-fi. So again, I don't have to be restricted to 1920s London, which is what I've set it in. Do you see what I mean? So it's got potential, if it does well initially, to then, change its genre. But you'd establish it initially as that. I mean, I could do a Jack the Ripper one. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of flexible. A mead brewery perchance. Yeah, exactly. Offices, beehives for me. Yeah, exactly. What a great idea. Yeah, set it in a brewery. Or set it in a monastery that they, and they're known for their ale. They brew ale to sell to keep the monastery open. Exactly. You can do anything. That's what I'm saying. It's very flexible, the format that I've got. And the only other little thing is, I've got a prestige token as well, prestige track, and when some cards you unlock, you will read out, the witness might have told you something. I'll put a prestige point on there. It's just say gain 1 experience prestige point, gain 2 prestige points. So you go up the track, and that does 2 things. One, it will unlock, the other thing you get is detection power cards. So at the beginning of the game, everyone gets given a detection power card, and that again might say, use this to move into 1 extra room this go. It's a one-off thing, discard. Or use this to examine 2 clues on your go. 1 extra clue or 1 extra forensic. So they're little helping cards, kind of to speed the game up as well. So again, I've put various states. So every time you hit this mark, it will say, if your prestige is 14 or higher, gain 1 deduction power card. So you gain another one of those, and they're just one-off things. And what that means is, you can do extra stuff on your go. But also, not only that, at the end of the game, you might be sitting on 20 prestige or 15 or whatever. You will then start on that prestige level, because you can take your characters into the next quest. So the base game, I'm going to have 3 quests that are set in London, 3 murder mysteries set in London, and you'll use the same sleuths, so you can level up. Then what I'm going to do is, you can then introduce, even an expansion. It could be an expansion of, every time you do an expansion, it's 3 quests, it's 3 murder mysteries. And you could get new character cards as well, just to keep things fresh. And then you level up those as well. So hopefully, if I can write it properly, each case gets gradually harder and harder. So there you go. What do you think? I know it's a lot of information to take in. I wasn't going to explain it all, but I'm so pleased with it that I've done it. We play tested it. They really enjoyed it. They found it very engaging. It didn't feel like 2 hours had gone past or 3 hours had gone past, which is always cool. There were a few things that I'm going to change that I then have started to think about and change, so that's cool. But but also the story's pretty much there. They did they get who it was? I think they got who it was, but they didn't get how they did it. They got who it was, and they pretty much got the motive, but they didn't get how. So I might put in a few extra hints. I take it prestige can also be used to evoke favours from the underworld context. Well, that was an idea that I had, yeah, that you would sort of, if you start to get known, like Sherlock Holmes, people might want to help you out more. So that was like the thinking of it, that maybe journalists could give you help. However, I don't want it to be too complicated because it's getting to the point where I think it's that sweet spot. If you're used to playing long games, you probably will understand it. You'll probably pick it up fairly easy. In fact, Pete and Charlotte, Sally has played a few longer games because of me, but Pete and Charlotte I don't think have, and they picked it up pretty simply, so that's good. But yeah, I had that in mind as well, so that might come into it as well. Yeah, or favours from high places, depending on the arm twisting required for the case in question. Yeah, no, exactly. That sort of thing, Lerin. Yeah, absolutely. Favours from journalists, favours from the police, because when the police start investigating, because you're all amateur sleuths. And that's why I thought, if it's 24 hours, surely the police would get involved, and then they would shut it all down, and you wouldn't be able to explore. That's my kind of thinking. So it's like, right, there's been a miscommunication. The police they've been notified, but for whatever reason, they've not turned up, So you could call in the favours, from a detective, or the underworld, or you could even have, I could even create a fictional connection that one of the characters might have, or the characters have, like the irregulars in Sherlock Holmes. Always goes back to Sherlock Holmes. Darn it, I still write too darn slow with my index being on a tiny screen. I use the old school T9 system, and I just use my thumb. Bish bash bosh bish bosh. I don't use the QWERTY on a phone when I text. Oh no. When I type on a keyboard, QWERTY's great because it's designed for 5 fingers, not for 2 on a really small screen. Don't know why everybody went to QWERTY. The T9 was perfect. They designed it specifically for the mobile phone. Predictive text and everything. So there we go. So I'm very pleased with this. The next stage with this is to make a few more tweaks, print off some different cards, because I kind of changed a few clues and I've added a few clues. Because what I've done is, I've printed them off. Let's have a look. So we've got things like here. So the forensic. So each card's designed the same. You've got A, B. So it'll just say in a room, look at forensic C. Okay, I want to test for that one. Then on the back, I've printed them off. However, some of them I've kind of included some handwritten ones, and I've added the Game 1 prestige on them. So I'm going to tidy all that up. Then what I'm going to do is ask some people to play test it again for me. Again, I can't play test it because I obviously know. And then, I have to move on to other play testers because once you play it, you'll know. And then once that's done, I might play test it again with that. So do it 2 or 3, 4 times. And then what I might do is get an actual prototype made up with a proper board, like the Talisman, an actual cardboard prototype where I actually pay money to try and, to make it look cool. Because then when I pitch it to people, they can then at least play it properly. However, I'm also going to put it on Tabletop Simulator, which is a great place to put your prototypes on there virtually. You can create the board. In fact, I'm going to do that, and we've done that. Kedrick and I have done that for previous games, and it's really helped because we've been we've played some of our games with people in America, in Greece, in Cyprus, wherever. So it's really good. So I'll probably do that. And the good thing about this is because it's cooperative, there's not an element of bluff. You don't have to show people the cards. And also, say I picked up a clue card and I read it out loud, then when I put it back in my play area and someone else wants to look at it, you just move it out of your play area, so you can hand it over to somebody and they can look at it. So it would work on Tabletop Simulator as well. So that's a big project. So I've got my Kickstarter gamebook, I've got my interactive gamebook show, I've got my Devilish Deaths, I'm going to call this Devilish Deaths, and I'm sure got other things going on. But anyway, slowly getting rid of some projects to finish those, to concentrate on others. So thank you very much. We've done 50 minutes. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I know I've lost a few people. Postscript from previous slow reply. Right, technically, as spies, ninjas... Oh, they were spies. So ninjas had to be proficient in any and all weapons in the setting they had to infiltrate. Hence a ninja infiltrating a Jamaican rum plantation would have to be in sugarcane cutting, a machete and revolvers, in addition to any weapons and poisons that carried with them. So is that because they understand the opponents and what their weapons are, so therefore they can take evasive action, and or if they manage to get hold of those weapons, they know how to use them? Is that the thinking behind that? Because that's quite clever, isn't it? Because if you've never used a heavy two-handed sword before, but you happen to come across it, you're like, oh, how do I use this? And then by that time, someone who does know how to use it is coming at you with another one. Think of a ninja as a James Bond. They have to masquerade as normal everyday folks too. Then may I advise them not wearing the black sort of outfit. Unless they're cosplaying at a games expo, of course, then they would fit in. The better to reach your target. Yeah. Cool. So there we are. That's what we've done. Oh, and I'm also creating another little card game. So there we go. Anyway, thank you for watching. I think there's only a couple of people watching now because it's an odd time of day. I do appreciate that. So thank you, Lirin. Thank you to Sally. Thank you to Jonathan. And I think that was all the people that commented, but I think there was a few other people watching as well. So thank you for those that are, if you are still watching, I thank you for that. If you want to comment, you do have to click the follow button on Twitch, or my channel, or my follow this channel on Twitch. That's how it works. If you don't, fair enough, you just enjoy watching it, that's great. I will be putting this up on Twitch, so it won't disappear. So if you only watch half of it and you want to watch the rest of it, obviously you can watch it on Twitch. If, however, you prefer to watch it on YouTube, I then do put it on the Edra Tales YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much. The next live stream is Wednesday, 6:30 PM, where we're going to start a new game book to play through, where you decide how the story unfolds, you comment, you make the decisions, and whichever decision gets the most comments, the most votes, then that's what we do. So you decide how the story unfolds. And I think we're going to be doing another Simon Tudhope adventure game book published by Osborne Publishers, because we've done 3 of those before. I did purchase the Thief one, where you're playing as a thief, which I hadn't realised he'd written when I decided that you guys were going to be playing a thief in this one. So it'd be interesting to see what he's done with the thief character. I'm always up for that. Anyway, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Jam. Really miss my cats. Oh, the more insomnia I get older. Yeah, exactly. We like some cats. We like cats. Take care. And until next time, remember, may the magic of stories flow through you always.